Welcome to Friday Vibes. No script, just chat. We talk all things food and beverage, and so much more. Feel our vibe and search for Friday Vibes on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And make sure to give us a 5-star review. Now your hosts, me, Alex Bear with Genius Juice, and Wade Yeti. All right, welcome to episode 52 of Friday Vibes. I'm assuming that you can hear me, right, Wade?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. We're using a new, very advanced audio visual technology here for the show. I'm testing it out. I'm the guinea pig from my side. If it works out, Wade is going to follow suit and get a mic and headphones for the show. This is all about our voices coming in even more clearly in high res because we want only the best for all of our fans and listeners and viewers for Friday Vibes. That's what it's all about, right, Wade?
100%. I agree wholeheartedly.
So I'm using the Yeti mic, not sponsored yet by Yeti, but I'm sure
that's what the holdout is. You know, I'm waiting. You are the guinea pig, actually, Alex. See, you purchased those with your hard-earned genius cash, and I'm waiting to get sponsored by Yeti for them to send it to me for free. So that's and if that works, then maybe I'll go halvesies with what you bought. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, man, if you can get me another set of like gold colored or something like that, a gold colored mic, I would love that. And I've had these
GoFundMe or something for that.
Yeah,
right?
go Vibe me or whatever. We'll make up. And also, I have these headphones. I used to use these when I would record music back in 2000. This shows the quality. Shout out to Sennheiser. Sennheiser is the name of these headphones. I've had these for 18 years. 18 years.
Wow.
High def, high res headphones that I used to use for studio recording, for music, even though I recorded it not in a studio, it was in my own house. And we have the Yeti mic, not to be confused with the Yeti the Yeti tumblers that we got from Richard Moniz at Rich Insights. So
I see that was a nice tie-in there. I see what you did there. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, any chance we have, we're going to be shouting out brands. We're going to be shouting out people that love the show, support us. That's what we do here is we support the community. Going to go through some laundry list items as usual. Looks like we have a lot of comments that are already coming in right now. Make sure to give us 5 stars. Yeah, there we go. It's a special effect of Friday Vibes. And you can do that by going on the Apple Podcast app. When I went to the Fancy Food Show this past weekend and also on Monday, I literally just said like, hey, Friday Vibes? They're like, yeah. You watch it or listen to it, right? Yeah. No, I do. I love the show. I show them how easy it is on the phone. I'm like, you do this and that. Go to Apple Podcasts, go to Friday Vibes, scroll all the way down, hit 5 stars. It takes about maybe 3.7 seconds, Wade, something like that.
Right.
It's short. So, and I got a few reviews on the show floor. So now we're at 74, 26 away from the road to 100. Also, if you'd like to sponsor our show, I mean, it's amazing all the new requests that have come in to be on the show as a guest, to be a sponsor for Friday Vibes. But we are now booked out as far as sponsors all the way through March, and we are now booked out for guests all the way through mid-May. So that's insane. We're already booked out for half of the year almost. And we have guests coming up. We have Brad Woodgate, who's going to be next week on January 27th. We have Luke Abbott. We have Daniel Scharf, who is the CEO of Machu Picchu Energy and also the founder of Startup CPG. Shout out to Startup CPG. We'd love to do something with them in the future to support other CPG entrepreneurs. We have, David Greenfeld, who I saw him at the show. We have Dylan Ceglio with Chubby Snacks. And we have also your friend, Steve Black.
Steve Black. Yes. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about all our guests coming up. We've got quite the list of people that are going to be joining us. So it should be different walks of life. And it's going to be fun.
Totally.
So Billy's asking about this shirt. I should probably show this because everybody is dying to see what this is, right? I told Alex this is a glimpse into his future. It's my Carlos shirt.
Yep.
So yeah. But yeah, I told Alex that's a glimpse into his future. So I want to hear what I really want to hear about is the show and how things went there. But I will announce officially this week that I am registered for not just UNFI in February in Orlando. I am also, as of this week, registered for Expo West. So I will be in California in March. Looking forward to seeing a lot of familiar faces and what you experienced this past week in Las Vegas. I'm hoping and looking forward to that in March. So exciting stuff ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome having you here. We'll definitely be hitting up some restaurants or bars, after the show or even maybe during the show. We would love to. It'd be cool to do kind of like a happy hour thing with the crew, right? Like after one of the days, like we can be there. We can invite some other CPG founders and other buyers. That would be a lot of fun to put like a Friday Vibes happy hour on. So maybe that we're on to something there.
Yeah, I'm sure we could make something happen.
Yeah, we got to get someone to sponsor us though for the alcohol. We'll figure that part out. And another thing just to mention, if you'd like to be, just kind of rewinding to a few minutes ago, if you'd like to be a guest on our show sometime in the May, June, or July, or somewhere in 2023, make sure to email us FridayVibes100, the number 100 at gmail.com. If you'd like to be a sponsor on our show, first and foremost, what do they do?
FridayVibes100 at gmail.com. And other big things, I alluded to this when I made the post for this show yesterday. This is officially our 52nd episode. And I know, so it's not officially 1 year by date, but it is 1 year when you talk about 52 shows, one per week. And, we missed it. We took a week off here and there. And I think Alex did at least one or two without me, and I did at least one without him. So, but 52 weeks makes a year in my book, or 52 episodes, or makes a year, I should say. So that's really exciting. So along with that, Alex, we did a training session for our official Vive Men this week. So that's going to be starting next week as well. So that individual will be working on helping with guests and posts and plugging and all those different things. It's going to help improve the show. Not that it needs improved, but just to keep the bar high and keep pushing it. That's all on the itinerary as we push into 2023, right?
Exactly right. I mean, some exciting things ahead and also here and now. But when you're ranked top 100 in North America under business podcasts, when you're ranked top 10 in Chile, and when you're ranked top 25 in New Zealand under business entrepreneur podcasts, you need help. We can't manage this freight train, the Friday Vibes freight train, on your own. So her name is Keen. That's her nickname. And Kenesha is her full name. And she's going to be starting with us on Monday of next week. For those that are listening in the past, that would be late January. So we're really excited about that. Make sure to, give her a shout out, Keen. You can guess how to spell her name. We'll leave that to you. And let's get to some comments here, because that's what we do on the show. It's no script, just chat. We prepared for about 3.5 seconds before going live, which is, I think, longer than most preparation sessions. And but let's go to some shout outs here. And also we'll talk about the Fancy Food Show. I went there. I was on the floor. Tons of shout outs for Friday Vibes, Wade. It was amazing. Like,
yeah, I want to hear all about it. I want to hear, were you like a rock star there or what?
I was definitely kind of I would say a niche mini celebrity there. I was stopped on the floor probably every minute or so. People were thanking, both of us, me and you, for doing the show and giving back to the CPG community. And then also people wanted to do videos like Bilal shouting you out. So we'll get into all of that. And I met Bilal for the first day. Yeah, there's a lot to say. So we have Martin Stoops, number 52 on the road to, I would say, infinity.
That's what I said. I think I posted right underneath that. I said never ending.
Never ending. There it is.
Is infinity. So yeah.
Great minds vibe alike.
Exactly.
Yep. So, and then Martin Stoops, thank you so much. I just got your package of the it's called Something and Booze. You got to tell me what the brand name is. It's baby care products for skin, for shampoo, lotion, great pack. I was really impressed by the packaging. I just showed my wife the packaging and she's like, I already trust it. Isn't that funny? Like the packaging is really good. You just trust what's inside the bottle or the package if the package is really, really stellar, and it is. Stephanie Hui, happy Friday. Alex Bearwin-Yenny, thank you. Tom Malingo, we're going to get a picture of the onesie you sent us, the Brandjectory onesie. We have not forgotten about that. The picture, I think, was already taken of our baby Aaron, in the Bear household wearing the Brandjectory onesie. So thank you for sending that. And Brandjectory is a longtime sponsor of Friday Vibes. Marcia Yensko, happy Friday. Dima Mararu of Guru, I got your package as well. I think did he ever send you the backpack, Wade, like the hiking backpack?
Yeah, I think I got one the last batch. I did get some Guru today. Thank you, Dima. I got the Guru today, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I got mine yesterday. I always do a customary thing where when I get it, we have a UPS box. That's our corporate headquarters. A little small, a little cramped in that box, but if we want to hold some meetings, we can kind of do it. But we got Guru Energy to our box, and the UPS guys, they're all in their 20s. They work super hard. They're lifting packages all day, right? Swimming in packages. I gave them a bunch of cans, and they were like when they saw the package come in, they're like, we know we're going to get some of this Guru Energy. They love it now, and they actually go to Whole Foods and they buy it. So the marketing works. So thank you, Dima, for also sending us I got the tumbler, I got the backpack, and also we got some cases of Guru. Daniel Caccioni. So hi, y'all. Welcome to our show. Great to see you. LinkedIn user.
That's Richard.
That's Richard Moniz. Yep. So Rich Insights. We have more to talk about with Rich Insights because Genius Juice is engaging and talking right now with Rich Insights. So the talk and conversation will lead to more. I promise you that. Gavin Conkle, what new gig?
That was for Martin Stoops.
Okay. And let's keep going. I'm sure Martin will answer. Got to wait till Monday to officially announce Hints Baby Laundry. That's right. Yeah. One of the bottles is a baby detergent, clothing detergent. That's pretty cool. Billy Jackson, that they already referred to that. What shirt is Wade wearing? Kenny Hausman. I can't go through all these here. We're getting a lot of comments. Sorry, I'm late running around today. Dude, Kenny, you're 3 hours early always, right? You're in Hawaiian time. Sean Berg, he's a CPG broker. Martin Stoops, congrats, man. Yeah, an early congrats to Martin. I know he was really proud of working at the Maple Valley, right? The maple syrup, right? Cooperative. Mm-hmm. And that was a great company, great product. And now he's on to another sustainable product. So congratulations to Martin. Early congratulations to him. Couple more here. Great open to everyone on Brandjectory coming up. Everyone, please join us. Okay. Yeah, I think, man, our Vibeman is going to really help us to get through some more comments because this is overwhelming. Right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. All right. So the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to open up and say one key thing that, because I'm very honest, don't exhibit at the show. It's not worth it. I loved going there and walking the show. I connected with a ton of colleagues, ton of brand owners, had great conversations. I met Daniel Scharf in person, I met Bilal in person, but I could tell that since they moved to Vegas, they moved last year, right? And last year I thought was a kind of a soft opening year because the pandemic was still very strong with the Omicron, the Omicron stage of the virus. This was the first kind of legit year, right, Wade, of fancy food without any viruses or huge concerns for Corona. The show, I was told by several people that have attended for many, many years and exhibited, this is the smallest fancy food show they have seen in 25 years.
I was going to say, so my team was well represented there. The feedback I received was similar to what you're saying, that it was definitely smaller in scale. We had a little bit smaller team attending than we have in the past. So it was good and it was manageable for them based on having less people, less body count there to work the show. But that was the exact feedback that I had, that there was less to see, not as significant as it was in years past. So it's, getting it from two different sources. Obviously, you were there in person. I'm talking second, third hand. As far as my experience through those people, and the feedback's similar from what I'm hearing.
Yep. So I can go on and on, but I really won't. But when you go into the room, right, it's one room. And usually in trade shows, you can't see both sides of the wall. That's how big it is. You could easily see both sides, the wall this way, the wall that way. I think there was roughly about maybe 35 rows, 40 rows of products. I saw almost no beverages there. No beverages that were in the emerging space. I saw Marin Kombucha, which is a smaller brand that's in Northern California. I saw Dream Pops and had a great conversation with David. Such a great guy. Gave me a big hug. He's going to be a guest on our show. But not a lot of brands, emerging natural brands. There was a lot of chocolate, a lot of cheese, a lot of charcuterie, like meats and stuff like that really took over the show. A lot of international brands from Asia and Europe, but not a lot of emerging natural brands like in the past. So again, think what you want, do what you want. To all the brand owners. I've been to the New York one as well, which I thought is now better than the West Coast one, but it just lost a little bit of its magic. Like San Francisco had a lot of magic around it, being in the epicenter of up and coming brands and, health and wellness. And Las Vegas is a different kind of vibe. So yeah, so cool to attend and walk, but I would not recommend to have a booth.
The other thing that I would say, and I don't know, correct me or tell me if this isn't the case, but was it always over the weekend of Martin Luther King Day? Because I think that may have impacted some travel as far as some individuals go. I think the other thing, obviously, I think it's always been around that time of year, regardless, in mid to late January. I'm sorry, the proximity to some of these other ones that, depending on the categories you're in, I mentioned the UNFI show in Orlando. You got KEHI coming up in Nashville, and then you come right back with Expo West in March. Obviously, depending on your category, you've got to choose your weapons wisely. You certainly can't afford to be at all four shows unless you've got bottomless pockets or you've got somebody that's writing checks that you don't have to worry about. So I think that may be influenced, as we've talked the last few weeks about the outlook of CPG in general and funds drying up, cash being tight, people getting laid off, you're seeing that left and right. It may be people are being a little smarter with where they decide to go, as far as which show, where in years past, maybe they will roll the dice and go to multiple. Maybe it's kind of what we've been talking about. People are just being a little more wise with their dollars and spending it where they think they're going to get the most return. And, certainly the audience, at what audience you have at these various shows, is going to be important depending on who you are and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, exactly right. And, speaking of just achieving and who's your audience, you got to have an ROI. You got to have an ROI at these shows and have a pathway to getting your money back, or at least closing a couple accounts, because we're there to, not only network, but also grow our business and get more sales and get some retailers to carry your product. And I just didn't see a lot of retailers there. I mean, I ran into Central Market when I was there. I met the buyer, who was a wonderful woman, and we talked for a little bit. And then, I did not run into the Jimbo's crew, but I heard from you and a lot of people that they're there. I didn't see Whole Foods, didn't see Sprouts, I didn't see Publix, I didn't see Albertsons, I didn't see Kroger. Maybe they were just hiding their badges from me once they saw my face and they didn't want me to sell to them. I don't know. But just it was, for me, the value was connecting with entrepreneurs, networking for Friday Vibes. I was also handing out some shots to get feedback on our Genius Wellness shots. One person, though, that I did run into, the very first person I ran into at a booth, it was like the first hour of the exhibit on Sunday, was David Delcourt at Grown Asmac, and super cool guy. Never met him in person. Gave me a big hug, and we got some pictures, which I posted on LinkedIn. So again, we're feeling the love here at Friday Vibes, and a lot of people at the show just had some good things to say about us, and we got some new sponsors and guests from me visiting out there, and and then the one part that was good about the show, I will say, is accessibility. That they had that covered, like compared to the Moscone Center for San Francisco. So freaking hard to like navigate and get parking around there being in San Francisco, but it was
Sure.
so easy in Vegas. There was a big parking lot. It was on I think the north, was it the West Hall or North Hall? I think it might have been the West Hall. You just park, big parking lot, you walk right over and you're in. So at least that was good. I'm looking at the positive sides of it.
Definitely. Well, there's certainly there's certainly some good and bad with all shows. I just hope that the brands that were there uh, got their money's worth. I mean, it's important, as we discussed. It's money's so tight. Every penny counts. It always does, but now more than ever, and hopefully it was beneficial across the board.
Yep. One other thing that not to like just totally over index on this subject is I think like the shows like KeHE and Unify, like you mentioned, Unify Orlando, and obviously Expo West is the Super Bowl. But I like shows where you can write orders right then and there. Like when you get the right, and I'm talking not only like, big retailers, hard to write an order right there. You have to go through a review process. It's very formal and there's timing. But let's say there's a 3-store chain in Wisconsin that want to carry your product. They meet you. They can write you an order right then and there. You can do a discount for them right then and there. They get to meet the sales team. They get to meet the founder, most likely. I do like, it's starting to appeal to me to do those shows more because it's immediate return once you leave the door. You know how many orders you write, you know how much money you've made, and you get to go to buyers that just want to order your product right then and there. From you going to past shows, Unifying KeHE, is that kind of because I haven't done a lot of these, is that kind of the flavor you see, is where you get approached a lot and
Yeah,
a lot of
so
orders?
it's interesting because I've had different mindsets over the years, depending on where I've been and what I was trying to accomplish. So when I think back of years past, like many years, we won't name how many, at the KeHE show that I'd go to in Chicago, which was kind of the holiday show. Um, I would initially I'd go, and my goal was to really work out some strong deals, right, and really walk out of there with kind of a good plan with regards to what I wanted to accomplish for the upcoming season. And as I kind of moved up and became a little bit more experienced, we did a couple of things. I went through a spell where we would take some of our store management teams with us to kind of get their eyes on product, as well as the corporate office. So we had a little bit different perspective. You weren't, and you felt the thought process being that if you had them along, or we certainly didn't take everyone, we just took a couple, but if you had them along, that you had their buy-in. And then so what we would do is, after the fact, we would go back and have a meeting with all of our store teams and have the individuals that attended the show with us kind of talk about their experience, about our product selection, and really kind of engage that way. So you had that peer support and buy-in, and so it was a little bit different. And then actually we committed orders probably 2 or 3 weeks after the show, once we had that team involvement. And what was nice about that is, oftentimes we might have committed to 20 shippers, I'm just making numbers up, at the show, but after we went back, told the story, talked a little bit about that, we might increase that number to 40 based on the buy-in, right? So that was really nice. But I think now where I'm at mentally, if I was giving advice to brands, and I think we might have talked about this in the last week or two, but you definitely need to have that networking aspect to take care of accounts that you already have, because everybody likes FaceTime, and everybody likes to feel good and blah, blah, blah. But you definitely need to have a portion of your team that aren't shaking hands and kissing babies with accounts you already have. Rather, they're on the sales team, to your point, working new accounts and new people that are coming up that you aren't in to talk about your products. So it's a kind of a two-pronged attack where you're taking care of the people that are taking care of you already, but then you're not losing focus taking care of those people with all the other people. You mentioned 3 stores. I don't know what states you use, Wisconsin, where have you. That's your opportunity at those shows oftentimes to see people who your sales force, yourself, what have you, aren't going to see. And so I think that's important that you have a portion of your resources at the shows dedicated to accounts that you aren't in yet, because that's your opportunity to pitch them. So that's my perspective.
Exactly. And I think there's some really good comments coming in that I'd be remiss if I didn't read. This is really relating to where should you attend? What is the strategy? I mean, these are companies, we're talking Blackbird Foods, we're talking Holy Veggies, right? With Jonathan Bonnell, who's a past guest in our show. So here's some comments here. Gavin just comes out and says, way too many trade shows. I would agree with that. I think you have to be judicious about what trade shows you do, because you have to factor in like all the expenses, the fucking the plane, the plane tickets, the hotels, food, travel, other travel expenses. And like usually you want to bring out not just yourself and one person, but 3 people or 4 people, so that you can take breaks and you can do shifts, because it's 2 or 3 days. It's a lot of time to be standing at a booth. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Expo West, to do a booth plus travel for 4 people plus food, alcohol, right? If you take your team out at night, like when you factor in everything, Uber trips, right? It's like $15,000 to $20,000. And did you see that post? I think you might have commented on. I can't remember, but it was from David at Chipmunk Baking. You see that one? Where
I think so, where they're going to do some private label things. Is that the one you're talking about?
it was another one where he went to the Fit Expo.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, and I got to get his full name. I know he was on 15 Minutes of Genius, but he has like a monk fruit type product, I believe, like it's like a baked goods that have monk fruit, so low sugar, and
Right.
that's called Chipmunk Baking, I believe. And he did the Fit Expo, and he lined up every single expense. It was the best post I've ever seen from an introspective level. Is it really worth going to these shows? After, take out the feel good moments, right? Take out the conversations, take out, walking away with some connections and business cards. Cold, hard return on investment. Is it worth it, right? Stripping away all the emotions. And he detailed out every expense that he had. And it was like several $1,000s. And at the end of the post, he's like, I feel kind of like a moron for doing this show. Like, he just said that in the post, because like, I know I didn't get this much return. I got a few business cards. I got some great contacts. So I don't know. It's up for debate. We're not here to tell you one way or the other. Just, we're telling you opinions in a no script, just chat kind of way. So Kenny Hausman commented, Jonathan Bonell would say, yes, there are a lot of shows which overlap. Never hurts to walk a show floor. I think, if you have samples in your bag, you can just walk a floor. But I will say, we've talked about this, set up all your meetings in advance. Like, don't walk the show hoping to run into a buyer, because, and also, I mean, we've talked about this maybe half a year ago or maybe a year ago, that buyers do not like to be approached, just pounced on in the middle of an aisle.
Right.
You have a schedule. You want to see
Right.
brands. You have meetings set up. Like, you're not there just to walk around for 6 hours aimlessly looking at different booths. So I'm very cautious personally about approaching any buyer in an aisle. Maybe I'll say hello, but that, hey, here's my card, let's talk later. But I will not pitch them in an aisle.
Well, and I've likened it to blood in the water for a shark, right? And
Yeah.
and I think it's not so bad if you're approaching the aisle. What I would strongly advise you not to do is, like, it gets to be borderline stalking, where I've had people actually chase me into 2 aisles away from their booth, and it's like, there's got to be, you know what I mean? There's got to be a little bit of give and take. And the other thing that I would throw out when I was talking earlier about having your team and making sure you're dedicating time and resources to both current customers and new potential customers, the worst thing, and you touched on it, but I'm going to expand on it. One of the worst things you can do is to leave your booth empty. And I can't even tell you how often I've seen that happen. As opposed to taking breaks. You've got your salesperson, whoever running the bathroom. You've got the booth. I've seen them go to lunch together, and that's you've paid thousands of dollars to be there.
Yeah, it comes out to hundreds per hour.
Yeah,
right?
you can have drinks afterwards. You can do all you want to afterwards, but man, if you're leaving your booth empty, that's a problem, right? I mean, you may lose at a bigger show when someone's trying to cover a lot of real estate. You may not get another chance for that person to stop by your booth. So I really would say you've got to make sure it's covered. So
exactly, and yeah, and then the way, and I feel this is just me sharing some wisdom on how I've been able to meet with buyers and meet with people that have the power to actually put the product into a store on a shelf. Warm connections, right? Getting an introduction from someone else that that's already in the store, and they know the buyer, and then they're talking with the buyer and they say, oh, hey, have you met Alex Baer with Genius Juice? That's more efficient because this buyer or decision maker is already talking with someone they have a relationship with. They're more likely to trust you, and it turns into more of a conversation versus a pitch, which is exactly what it should be. Getting to know each other, building the relationship over time. Let the pitch come later on a Zoom call, right? Like maybe in a month. It's all about building the relationship. And that's how, in the couple retailers that I did meet at Fancy Food, it was literally me having the intention just to build a relationship. I was talking with the brand owner I knew for an hour. I was there for an hour in the middle talking with her. And then one of the buyers came by and she grabbed the buyer. And then I got to meet the buyer through that conversation. So I think, there's ways to do it and ways to not do it. But the one thing I will emphasize is you only have one chance to make a first impression, right? You have one chance to make a first impression, and you should I think it's better to come across in a way of, hey, just wanting to meet. We can always talk later about business. Let me tell you a little bit about me and the company, but let's just have a normal conversation and not a pitch.
Right.
Let the pitch come later, So some other comments here as well. From Gavin Conkle over at Blackbird Foods. I think every brand needs to understand where they are at as a company for trade shows, especially the big ones. If you're a brand new company and looking for exposure, great. It's great marketing. If you're well established, you have to be able to provide an ROI ongoing. I feel like a lot of companies go at this point, whatever status they are as a company. And that's kind of, I would say, if you're debuting a product and you want to make a big splash, it's maybe good to do the show.
Right.
If you're big, it's good to do the show. I think if you're in the middle, that's the 2 million range, 5 million revenue range. Is it really worth doing a show?
Well, I think a lot of times, there's a feeling of obligation or necessity to continue that relationship with the people that are putting on the shows. As far as that goes, there's some relationship and back scratching that goes on, and I feel sometimes brands get caught in that conundrum as far as that goes. As far as feeling that they have to be there to keep relationships going, and I think there's certainly ways you can do that without spending thousands of dollars at a show. To your point, you can have a presence at that show, walking the floor, wearing your swag and being there and not necessarily having a booth. There's different ways you can make that splash if you're in that middle zone where, I think Gavin touched on as far as, the ROI piece, right? I mean, if you have the money, you're emerging and you want to talk to a lot of people and see a lot of people, that may be one thing. But if you're somewhat established in that middle to higher end range, maybe it's not the best use of company resources as far as dollars and people go.
Exactly. It was funny too, before we kind of shift to different subject. I was talking with someone at the show, and we were talking about Central Market because I've been to a couple of the Central Markets. I went to the one in Dallas, and fantastic retailer, and I just kept saying the name Central Market, like probably 5 times. Someone overheard me came over. It was a brand. They came over. I didn't know the person. They came over to me and they're like, "Hey, are you the buyer for Central Market? I heard you talking about it." I'm like, "Okay, now I got a preview as to how it feels to be a buyer." And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that's how you don't want to approach people in general.
Right.
So I can feel the pain from them, and that's why I just got to we got to chill out as brand owners. The last comment before we shift gears, because this has been about 25 minutes of talking about this. Good point, Alex. I feel badly we jump on buyers when they walk the floor. And he talked about this on our show as well. Always prefer the moments after the show, grabbing a drink, just chatting about life. We forget that it's about having authentic conversation first and building relationships. And I'm just going to shout out a couple more people. Gavin said, "Great point, Wade," in your last point. The last this is Richard Moniz, right? What are your thoughts on suppliers like me talking with CPG owners, not necessarily selling, but discussing services? So I guess I can take this one being like the brand owner. We're the ones that are pitched on services. It's to me, it's a, I mean, I'm going to come out and say it like, brands are at shows to build their business, not to connect with service providers. We can always Google that. We'll ask for help right on LinkedIn. I need someone who does ERP systems. I need someone who does merchandising. We'll ask if we need it. But we're at those shows and the clock is ticking. Every minute counts. We paid thousands of dollars for this booth, thousands of dollars of travel out there. We don't want to talk with service providers, even if it's important. However, if you approach a booth and you have a regular conversation about their product and you ask them questions about their product and it comes up organically, "Hey, we've been looking into this," you can jump in and kind of talk about your services. But I remember at Expo in 2019, half the people that approached us was just like, "Hi, my name is Dud and I do this and I offer this. Are you interested?" Like, it's like, no, move aside, because we need to talk with buyers and we need to talk with other investors and other people that will help us grow our business.
Right.
So that's,
I was going to say, I threw Gavin's comment up on here, and it's always applicable, not just in this scenario, but always as far as knowing your audience. To Alex's point, brands are there. They paid theoretically thousands of dollars to be there. They don't want to be pitched. It's kind of you get that buyer's remorse, right? As far as that goes. But Gavin touches on something that I have this conversation regularly with my team, and as far as insight goes, and no pun intended, Rich, but with regards to talking to the right people, I mean, odds are the people that can make a decision on a service are not the people that are going to be at that show. They're not necessarily looking at the marketing folks or the VPs and those people that can sign off on services. You're talking to the sales team, who that's completely separate than the people that are going to make decisions on services. So you're probably in some regards wasting your time, and certainly wasting the brand's side, because that's the sales team that are trying to sell, and that's their task, and that's why they're there. So I think it's important that it's just like we're advising brands, advising you, and from the service provider aspect, you want to make sure your time is well spent, and pitching to salespeople who aren't going to be able to help you really, unless they pass your information on, which probably, let's be honest, isn't likely. That's probably it.
Yep, exactly. And being a CEO also of a brand, and others can relate, you also are your attention span is going to be pretty low. There's a lot of action, a lot of people walking by, unless it's like at the end of the show when you're cleaning up or something, or you're walking out and maybe you pick up a conversation. But brand owners, VP of sales, partners, anyone that's at the booth, they're going to be kind of like ADD in a way. They're just going to be really focused on, people walking by, people going to the booth, sampling, people asking questions, customers asking questions, buyers asking questions, investors. So like, even if you are able to get your pitch across in that meeting, the CEO is not going to be fully attentive to what you're saying. Their attention is going to be split in 5 different ways. So another reason not to do that. So also, I want to mention Shark Tank tonight. So we're going to have one brand that I know the owner. That is Aaron Gailmore of Grassroots Foods. Have you tried that product before?
I've not. I've not. I thought you were going to, when you first mentioned Shark Tank, I thought you were going to talk about someone that I know, and you probably do
Rosalie.
too, from last week.
Yep.
Wild Wonder. Wild Wonder got a deal last week. So congratulations, Rosa. That was big. That was big. So no, I'm not. I don't know that I'm familiar with the brand you're mentioning for this week.
Yeah, and that's good because we did gloss over that last week. And I actually saw Rosalie at the Fancy Food Show. She looked like how I looked after airing on Shark Tank. She's like checking her phone every 3 seconds and like all these new orders coming in and trying to logistically fill them. And she had meetings going on. And so she aired last week, which was January 13th, right? 2023. And then she
Yep.
also got a deal with the founder of DoorDash. His name escapes me right now. But she got a deal on the air. I think a $500,000 deal, I believe, for 9%, if I can remember correctly. And she did a great job. I mean, the product is fantastic. I know it's at the Fresh Market as well, and at other retailers, Fresh Time. It's in Sprouts. It's in a lot of different retailers. And she's just a very energetic, nice, caring entrepreneur. She's awesome. And so, big congrats to her airing. And you can go on Hulu or YouTube and see part of the episode. And then, so Grassroots Foods, the fast forwarding to January 20th, 2023, he's going to be airing tonight. And he does a Sacha Inchi product in powder form and snack form, and chips, like a chip. And Sacha Inchi is like this ancient grain that has protein and a lot of healthy ingredients in it. And so he's airing tonight. I saw a preview of it, and he's from Louisiana, so your stomping grounds. He's from New Orleans, and they open up the episode with brass instruments like on the streets of New Orleans playing.
Nice.
And Aaron is singing a song. So he kind of took a little play out of the Genius Juice playbook, but that's okay. I'll let it slide.
I like it.
We did a song. So make sure to tune in 8 o'clock everywhere, right? I think it's 8 o'clock wherever you are. It'll be airing on ABC, Shark Tank. Make sure to check out Grassroots. And cool. All right. What else shall we talk about here? Should we go through some more comments, or what do you want to do, Wade?
Yeah, well, we can go through comments. We just got a little bit of time left. We got other things we got to touch on. I was just going to say, I did, not that I'm being nostalgic, but I kind of am. I went back and listened to a little bit of that first episode, and it actually holds up pretty well, Alex. I mean, it really stands the test of time. I skimmed through it. I listened to the opening a little bit, and then skimmed through it a little bit. And it's 52 weeks of fun, 52 episodes of fun, and just really looking forward to what we have to look forward to here in the weeks and months and years to come with regards to what we're doing. I think what we really need to do, just in general, we've got a good group of people that are on here right now, and I'm sure all of them have given us 5 stars already. But I think really encourage our audience to, when we post the event page, remember you can go in and start putting questions in there prior to the episode starting. Like, so once that event page, Alex posts it, I post it, and it's live, you can go into and actually make a comment, kind of like an ask me anything type scenario. Don't be afraid to utilize that. If there's something you want us to talk about, we kind of come in each week off the cuff, and typically it's about a minute before we go live. So if there's something you want us to touch on, or something that's on your mind, or question you may have, please put it in the chat, and we'll certainly address it as we go through. I think that's something we thrive on, obviously, as we look at the as we look at all the comments here and touching on them. I think that can only help grow the show and make it more impactful for those of you that are listening, watching, what have you.
Exactly right. And it was a really beautiful post that you did, yesterday, just on how much fun we're having, Can't believe that it's been 52 weeks, since starting this. And I go back to Wade and I listen to the episodes. And I
Right.
think like the early episodes were really dominated by just talking about COVID because it was like at a
Right.
peak. And then, and then we went into, yeah, I think like it's aged very well. We've kept the same structure. We like to shout out people. We like to support brands. So yeah, man, I just love doing the show and love doing it with you. And I love how much we've grown the podcast.
Definitely. Well, and when you think back to those early episodes, we didn't have sponsors, we didn't have guests, and we certainly didn't have as active as the community that we have now. So I think it's grown with us. It was fun because you're exactly right. It was really dominated by COVID and the impact we were seeing on the supply chain side, and as well as labor aspects in the stores and different things. So it's really kind of evolved into what it is now. Looking ahead with all the guests we have lined up, the sponsors, our ongoing sponsor, V Driven, all these different things. There's a lot of good stuff ahead.
Totally. And, we thank you all again. I mean, we can't say thank you enough, but I still say it anyway, from our hearts to yours. Thank you for supporting us, for being on here every week, for commenting, having great comments that really help the CPG community, and for supporting us both. I mean, when I go to, our office or headquarters / UPS box, I see a lot of samples come in from tons of different people. I get backpack. You've gotten a lot of samples, Wade. I've gotten backpacks. I've gotten tumblers. I've gotten chocolate. I've gotten energy drinks. I've gotten baby products. I've gotten clothing. I've gotten handbags. I feel like really lucky that we have so much support from the community, and also like I love discovering new products that are actually making a difference and helping others at the same. Like these are healthy, great products, and that's what we're all about here on Friday Vibes, is making a difference in the world. So so we love the samples, and again, keep on sending us hats, keep on sending us hoodies, whatever you want, and we will sport it and wear it. Just to mention that. Although I do like the Hangover Carlo shirt on him. That looks good this week. That looks good. So some other comments I'm going to shout out as well. I'm going to scroll back here. I'm going to use the DeLorean, go back about 5 minutes. Let's see. That's you. Those usually don't make it out of the hotel room. What was that? The business cards. Yep. 80% of business cards are from trade shows, are from service provider. Yep. And then thank you, Gavin, for awesome comment, man. And we love you. We give you a lot of shit, but underneath, we love you. And you've grown a lot since the beginning. Thank you, Gavin. Back at you, dude. Gavin has grown so much as a person and as a businessman, and going from a buyer at Earth Fair and helping build them back up, opening up a store every 3 hours with Earth Fair, to working with Blackbird Foods, a great vegan company. You're great, brother. So keep doing what you're doing. Jonathan Bonell, loved meeting you as a guest. Great vibes on Friday Vibes today. Also, I want to shout out that Tom Malingo and Susan Bryanton of Brandjectory and Litchfield Fund are early investors of Grassroots. So that's nice. Cool. They're going to see their investment air tonight. So they're Shark Tank is one of their Genius Juice is one of their investments, and now Grassroots. So both they have two brands that are airing on Shark Tank. That's pretty cool. Kenny Hausman, congrats on 52 shows. The progression from when you started to where you are now has been amazing to see. At the same time, you're right, Wade. The older shows have aged well. Exactly. They've aged like the cheese I was sent, I think a month ago. Did you get that cheese too? The aged cheese?
I did. It was very good. It was very good. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So it's a good segue into our, people sending us product. A couple more. Stephanie Hui out there, Potrero Hill Whole Foods. Agree, Friday Vibes. Great guests and content. Thank you, Alex Bear Winyeni. We love you, Steph. Thank you so much. And one or two more, and then we're going to get into our next segment. Gavin is awesome. Pure Heart. That's Richard Moniz. We all love you, Gavin. Gavin's getting a lot of love.
Gavin, love fest here. That's okay. That's okay. Gavin needs some love every once in a while.
Yeah, we all do. All right, so let's get into our next segment, which is, and I got a good one. Speaking of brands and people that have supported us and been guests on our show, I have a good one this week, Wade. I'm excited. So
Nice.
let's go into stuff we love. And I think, Wade, you're waiting on Renee to get you something.
I was
right?
going to say, you see, this is me undercover.
Yeah, you're like, "Wait, Renee, give me that thing from the pantry." Yeah, we all know that you're talking. So, but good try. All right, so finally got this.
I haven't got that yet.
Well, I paid for it.
Where'd you get it at?
I went on their website. It's
You went
available.
online. Okay, I was going to say, because I haven't seen it in stores. I'll get it sooner or later. I will get it.
So this is, I'm going to turn the volume down a little more, but essentially this is the Midday Squares cookie dough, and it is fucking awesome. You know, I got to use the F word on this. I'm trying to open it. Oh, I did. This is actually a new case, so I haven't even opened it yet. Let me get this open. There we go. So comes in a pack of 12. This is it. It's their new cookie dough flavor. And you can see here, I mean, I'm going to open one right now, and I'll eat a little bit while you're talking about yours.
Oh, man. Now you're killing me.
But look at this. It has the chocolate chips. It has the cookie dough. And it has the chocolate layer. I've crushed an entire case. I got 2 cases from their website. I've already crushed one whole case, you know, during golf or during in between meetings. Incredible job, guys and gal. This is to Nick, Jake, and Les. Well done. This is my favorite flavor. Not to keep making you want it even more, Wade, but this is my favorite flavor of Midday Squares. The cookie dough, well executed, super healthy, and I love it. So shout out to the Midday Squares crew. Right, that's mine.
That's awesome.
I'm going to mute myself while I'm eating this.
I was going to say, I don't know that I can top that, but I'll just go with some of the things I have here since they're in front of me, and I had Renee graciously get them for me. So I'm gonna show these because I got these today, right? There we go. Right, Guru, Dima, thank you. I got those. I got another one of these today, Alex. I know these are your favorite, right? Missy J's. I know you love those, so thank you. Jenny's on here. Thank you.
Fucking
and I
love
think
those.
I talked about these. I think I talked about these before, but I don't know if I had the bag. These ones, the cinnamon sugar, they taste like an elfin ear at the fair. They're really ridiculous. And Dots pretzels, we're huge fans of just the regular seasoned ones, but these cinnamon sugar ones, they're just ridiculous. This is like our 3rd or 4th bag. It's just silly how good these things are. So that's what I got.
Right on. Okay, and that gave me enough time to crush one of these squares, Midday Squares. So
right, it's midday. Really it's kind of midday there, right? I mean, it's kind of late, so
mid-late day. Yeah, that could be their next product line, mid to late day. All right, so let's go into I'll handle the permanent sponsor. You handle this week's sponsor. That sounds good? All right, so our permanent sponsor with a capital P, actually all in caps, is V Driven. And we actually just hired, salivating from this cookie dough here just after eating it. It's hard to talk right now just when you have saliva in your mouth. So it's like, anyway. So V Driven, the CEO is Luke Abbott, and they are I'll go into a little summary about them. They're a CPG partner for emerging purpose-driven brands. They fuel growth and innovation by providing strategies and support in every phase of the retail journey, from leadership coaching, brand management, accounting, sales strategy, day-to-day tactical support. They're an end-to-end solution for the brand's business needs. And they're amazingly talented. They're loving people. I actually ran into Brandon Mahin at the show. So he's one of the first guys I show getting a badge, and I ran into him in line. And they can help you sell into retailers. They do accounting. They also do trade spend, deduction management, aka fighting Unify or KE when there is a chargeback that may be erroneous. So they're great for that as well, because that's a hot topic now, is chargebacks that are happening. So to reach out to them, their website is VDriven. That's V as in Victor, driven.com. There it is right there. And then we have Luke Abbott. He's a CEO, and his email is luke.abbott right there in the comments. Luke.abbott, ABBOTT at VDriven.com. Make sure to reach out to them. And thank you for being our sponsor. And also, thank you for providing us our new Vibeman, Keen, who's starting next week.
Right on. So I am going to talk about this week's sponsor, right? And I'll show that while I get started here. So it's our good friend Derek Brawley in Prana. So the winner, I'll talk about what you're going to win, because that's what everybody wants to know, right? So
Exactly.
They're going to get a chocolate lovers prize pack, which includes 8 ounces of their Kilimanjaro Deluxe Chocolate Trail Mix, which is just awesome. I know my wife actually just loves that. Their Brownie Crunch Granola, you just add water to that, and that is equally as awesome. And then lastly, but not leastly, their chocolate Sumsuma, their chocolate covered sesame snack. So I've described this before as kind of like, if you think about an adult Rice Krispie with sesames and chocolate covered, also awesome. So you get the trifecta, the chocolate lovers pack, courtesy, excuse me, of Derek Brawley and Prana. So if you're not familiar with Prana, check their website out. I put it up there, but they're Canada's #1 organic snack brand. Prana is on a mission to promote wholesome living. Sorry about that. Wholesome living through good nourishment. Their vision is to build a virtuous circle between people, planet, profit, transforming the way food is produced and consumed while promoting health and well-being for all life on Earth. So Prana, Derek, great people. And what I'd say about Derek, and we say this a lot about people, and I think it's pretty much our audience as a whole, but Derek especially, when you talk about people that live the lifestyle and practice what they preach, Derek Brawley's one of those people. And if you're not connected with Derek on LinkedIn here, I'd encourage you to do that. I mean, this is a guy who goes out and picks up trash along the river in his kayak. He has his kids out there helping him. He's composting. He's doing everything to make the world and our environment a better place. So just please, thank you, Derek. Appreciate your friendship, your support, as well as that of Prana Snacks. So Alex, I've talked a lot. I hope you have a good question for everybody, because I don't.
I do not. That's why, I don't script this kind of stuff, but I will, while I'm thinking of the question, diversion. This is it. This notebook that we use to write all of our Friday Vibes notes has been brought to you by Specialty Food Sales and Marketing, Michael Bonicato. So this is the one from last year, and he sent me one for this year. So boom. So thank you, Michael. And I missed you at the Fancy Food Show. He had to leave a little bit earlier than expected, but love you, brother. And I'll be seeing you out there on the golf course, I'm sure, soon. That diversion kind of worked, because I'm still thinking of a question. Let's think. Okay. Usually you talk about music and we just like pick an artist that you're going to see, but we don't have that
Right.
luxury this week. I mentioned the percentage number. Okay. This is going to be a little bit harder, and it's also a small crack at the Fancy Food Organization, but it's okay. We love to do stuff like this for fun. I talked to someone at the Fancy Food Show. This person mentioned how long they've been exhibiting, or how long they've been there for, a certain number of years. And they mentioned that there was a certain percentage of decrease for number of exhibitors. What is that? What is the number of years this person has been going to the show, and what is the percentage decrease that this person said? I said it once during the episode.
Wow. Yeah. I'm not winning Prana this week, Alex. I'm not going to be the winner.
I don't even know if I will. I forgot what I said. All right. So that is the question. This is to win. And they're round numbers. I'm giving you a clue. It's not like, it's not 39 years and in a 19.4%, whatever, this is a nice round number. Hopefully you guys can guess it. and you will win Prana Snacks. Dima, close, but no cigar. But no sesame bite.
I was gonna say, Rich said the exact same thing.
You guys are both close. Okay, the 25 years is correct. The second part is not correct. Tie-dye cup time. What does it say on this? What does it say on the side of the cup?
I have two cups. That particular one is from the Acadia Music Fest in Louisiana. It's a music festival that took place. When I say next door to my apartment in Thibodaux, I could see it, like I could throw a stone and hit it. It was right in a field across from our apartment. So, and when we got to go there once before COVID hit, and the headliner was, and this should have been a question, Flo Rida. And while we're waiting for the answer here, Flo Rida became a very, very rich man this week, getting a settlement from Celsius for like $84 million for helping build that brand. And there's some kind of issue with music or what have you. But yeah. So it's the Acadia Music Fest Cup, and it has this nice crawfish on here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, there it is.
That would have been our question. What's on Wade's cup? What creature?
Right.
But cool, very cool. So no one has answered it yet. 25 years is correct. 50% is too much. It's lower than 50%.
And more than 25, because I see a couple a 25 in there.
It's between 50% and 25%, somewhere in the middle.
Right.
And it's a nice round number. So if you just, keyboard mash it, you'll probably, you're a few guesses away from winning Prana Snacks. I'll say that much. At this point, it's like roulette, right? It's like roulette. I'm just doing the Vegas thing here. Put a chip on a certain number. You're probably, at some point going to win.
How about Martin?
More than what Martin said.
Wow.
So close. Yeah, close.
We're playing hot and cold now at this point.
Yep. I'm really helping you guys out. Less than 50%, more than 35%. It's literally, Prana is on its way to your doorstep. That's how close you are. Nope. Rich Monez, it is not 25 and 35%. Okay, Martin Stoops got it. There it is. 25 and no, he didn't. Wait, hold on.
No?
Yeah. No, he did. Okay. I'm actually reading. There it is. Yep. 25 and 40%. I think that's what I said. Hopefully that's what I said. I'm hoping I didn't say something different. So 25 years, 40%. That is the answer. So Martin, you gave us some baby products. Karma comes right back. You get Prana. So make sure to email Friday Vibes with the plural, Friday Vibes 100, the number 100 at gmail.com. Also want to mention, if you'd like to invest in Genius Juice, I won't make this long. We have a crowdfunding campaign. It's on Republic. You actually get equity in Genius Juice. We are launching in some new retailers and club stores this year. And we also have a new wellness shot line that we're coming out with. So I'm going to post a link to that right now. And again, it's really to support us. You get equity in the company. The minimum investment is $100, and you can be a shareholder in our company, and which is pretty cool. So make sure to head there to get perks too for investing. Yeah, we're at 7,500 now, Wade. So
That's great.
We're growing. Before it was a few $1,000s last week. Now we're at 7,500. So we're getting there. Our goal is to get about 100,000. V Driven also. Just one more I want to mention for V Driven. That's our permanent sponsor. Make sure to reach out to them, vdriven.com, luke.abbott, ABBOTT at vdriven.com. Thank you, Wade. And that is about it. So what do you got going on this weekend?
I think we're going to go listen to a band next door here pretty shortly after we grab some food. And I don't know, we can probably talk about this more on future episodes, but we've been casually looking at some potential houses in the market down here. So trying to, because our lease is going to be ending here not too long from now. So we're just kind of dipping our toe in the water. The real estate market's calmed down a little bit, so we're just kind of spending some time out, looking around a little bit. I'm going to give Kenny a plug here, and there's some pretty important football games this weekend. So his Bills are playing, and hopefully they'll be successful. Although me being the guy that I am, Kenny from Ohio, I am rooting for the Bengals just because they're an Ohio team, and when they're not playing against the Browns, I kind of rooting for them a little bit. So we'll see what happens. The best team's going to win, and whoever wins that, more than likely, that's going to be the one that I want in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens.
Cool. And so there's no golfing for me this weekend. I might go to the range or something for an hour to practice. But it is Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year, or they call it for other Asian cultures, it's a Happy Lunar Year. So what animal is it the year of? Do you know, Wade?
Is it the rat?
Close. Rabbit.
Rabbit. Okay. Let's start with an R. R-A. I had the R-A down. Yeah.
And he had the T at the end. So, but Year of the Rabbit. And so to shout out to those that are celebrating Chinese New Year. My wife is Chinese, so we're definitely celebrating it and going somewhere on Sunday, somewhere near Alhambra, Pasadena, where there's a lot of Asians that are there and a lot of great restaurants that are there. So reminder, next week, first off, give us 5 stars. Make sure to go on there. It's easy. Apple Podcast. We're at 74. We're like, I can freaking taste the 100. I know we're just so close. And next week we have special guest Brad Woodgate. And he's a serial entrepreneur. He has the brand Joyburst, which Vanilla Ice is one of his partners, and they do shows where they sing about Joyburst. It's pretty cool. And also No Sugar Company. That's also his brand. Been around a long time. And we're also being sponsored by Guru Energy. So it's sure to be a lot of energy. That's Dima Moraro. So that's going to be next week, Friday, same place, same time, 2:30 p.m., 5:30 Eastern. And everyone have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. And Wade, love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy. See you for episode 53 next week.
53. Take care,
You got
everyone.
it.